and welcome to your award-winning The Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke through news and headlines each week, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel, and today we are joined by the other host. It is Macio. Welcome back, Macio.
Thanks for having me, man. Glad to be back.
We've got video game news, BlizzCon stuff, but to anyone, if it is your very first episode, the way we format the show is we go through a block of news. This week, we're going to do what's new on HBO Max, the November 2021 highlights. And then we're going to end it with the Brocat block, which is what Macio and I have been doing this week, playing, reading, watching, the more personal side of the podcast where you get to know your hosts a little bit better. So let's jump right in and explore sector number 481. According to various reports, WB Games is working on a Smash Brothers-like platform fighter featuring Warner Brothers characters. One of the other hosts on here, Scott from Lazy Gaming Guys, has a lot of doubts on this. Do you believe the leaks, Macio?
At first, I kind of was like, I don't know. It sounded kind of fishy. In my opinion, I was leaning on the side of this some bullshit. But good old Hungry Box, he leaked the whole damn thing, basically. he didn't show any gameplay, but he plastered up a screenshot on Twitter. Then he made a whole video about it. They got taken down by Warner Brothers. So they seem to be pretty quick on the trigger there for something that's not true. So it looks like it's true to me.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, because why send out a copyright takedown on something, a video, an image, unless it's something that belongs to you? Now, the last time that I saw this happen from Warner Brothers was in that picture that Zack Snyder tweeted and put up on Vero of Batman eating out Catwoman, which is not an official image. Someone obviously, either he or someone in the comics industry drew it, but they took down a copyright strike on that. So we were like, that's not official artwork though. It was like, how can you actually take it down because it's your characters? That's the only thing that people are pointing to where it doesn't have to be true or an actual project for them to take it down as long as it has their characters. But to me, that confirmed it.
Yeah, that's going a little bit too far. Like, if it's straight up fake news, they could easily just go to the journalists and say, "Hey, this isn't happening. We're not doing it." And to go as far as to be completely quiet, journalists call them, message them. They say absolutely nothing. We have nothing to say at this time. Meanwhile, someone posts a screenshot and it immediately gets taken down. I've also seen some like developer papers, like kind of like testing, like QA testing, where someone had like screenshots of like the actual characters like Wonder Woman and a couple of the other characters like on stages. I don't know how they can say it's not true, but then people have screenshots of the gameplay. Hungry Box, very storied high level player in Melee. How the fuck did he get these leaks? Like, he doesn't even play the current Smash. He plays Melee and somehow came across someone just said, "Hey, look, there's this other platform fighter," because they saw him probably playing that Nicktoons Smash Brothers. So they said, "Hey, man, by the way, we're working on a Warner Brothers Smash Brothers. Wink, wink. You want to take a look, maybe test it out?" Because they do that sometimes. They pass along games to well-known players. Hey, how does this look? And maybe they didn't give it to him, so he leaked it since somebody else gave him the info.
Right, just to kind of show them, like, maybe you should have sent it my way and this wouldn't have leaked. This leak shows the following characters. So we've got Steven Universe, Finn, and Jake separately from Adventure Time. We've got Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Wonder Woman, Gandalf, Rick, Tom and Jerry, and those play together, Bugs Bunny, and an all-new original character, which I don't recognize. Obviously, it's probably has to do with the story mode or something in the game itself. Maybe the one you start out with, kind of like Kirby in each of the Smash Brothers. But I think the roster is pretty good as far as their big properties. They're going to add on to it. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Daffy Duck in there, some more Looney Tunes characters, some unlockable DC characters. The Joker has to be in there if you've got Harley Quinn, and he even shows up in fucking Mortal Kombat. They're going to put in the Joker. Are there any characters in the Warner Brothers roster that you're like, yeah, that's the character I'd like to see? Although on Discord you were saying that Tom and Jerry already were the ones that got you.
Oh yeah, man. Like, come on, you smacking the shit out of somebody with Tom and Jerry. I'm down. I'm down for Daffy Duck or Elmer Fudd. Throw them in there. If we're going with the Tom and Jerry universe, you could throw in like, damn, what's the dog's name? Like,
Oh yeah, I don't remember him and his son, right? Yeah,
name.
it's like Spike or something.
Yeah, Spike, Legolas. Trying to think of other Warner Brothers stuff. I mean, I guess technically, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force is Warner Brothers. They got Rick and Morty shit in there, so you throw somebody like Frylock or Master Shake in there.
Birdman, I want to see Birdman.
Harvey Birdman, throw him in there. Space Ghosts, like fuck it. Like we need all the characters in this shit.
And there's no way Harry Potter is not one of these members too. They very much value that franchise and they're keeping it going. They're gonna put Harry or Hagrid or fucking Dumbledore to go off against Gandalf in this thing. And I don't know. I don't know if it's really, like Scott was saying, that even if this roster is true, that it doesn't mean that it's a Smash Brothers character. He's more on the lines of this is probably going to be a mobile game or something that's a pay-to-play type of thing. So he's right, though. There's nothing here that tells us that it's definitely a Smash Brothers platform fighter, aside from the leaker themselves telling us that that's what it is.
Yeah, some of the leaks that I've seen, it looks like a platform fighter. It has platform fighter type stages. Hungry Box leaked it. He pretty much only plays platform fighters. We just had a new platform fighter come out for other properties with Nickelodeon's platform fighter. So I don't see them making a just regular ass fighting game with these characters. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, what, they're just gonna make like a 2D like regular ass fighter, like a Marvel versus Capcom type shit with Warner Brothers characters? I don't think so. It looks really cartoony, like how they made the characters. Oh, and we forgot Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that's right.
All those characters. Shaggy was in one of the leaks that we saw. So, like, I can't imagine them having like Shaggy in like a real hardcore fighting game. Like, it's definitely going to be a platform fighter. Now the question is it going to be a mobile game like Scott was saying, or are we looking at an actual like console PC type game? Because what it looks like to me, how the graphics look, they didn't really look too super high res, super detailed. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised with Warner Brothers pushing for some type of mobile game with free to play, and you could sell characters for days on that.
Especially if you want to do like a Mortal Kombat pass or something like that and have 4 Mortal Kombat characters thrown in.
Exactly. And right now, Warner Brothers, they have no games right now. Like, Mortal Kombat is pretty much just pushing the shit, but they haven't put out any games in forever. And the games that they had working on, that Harry Potter game got pushed back into God knows when. They didn't even give a date. And then we got Gotham Knights supposedly coming out in 2022. That's Suicide Squad game, probably not even going to touch 2022. We were looking at 2023 for that. And wasn't AT&T, they were looking into just selling off the video games side anyway. So if they're trying to do something, they're trying to gain money. And what gains money quicker than free-to-play games?
Exactly right. We'll see when this gets confirmed. I'm assuming sometime next year. It's probably way too early. I doubt, though, because there's no big conferences between now and the end of the year, is there?
Game Awards. They can announce it at the Game Awards
right.
if it's a console game. I don't see them doing that if it's a mobile game. If it's a mobile game, they're just going to put it out and just put a little thing on Twitter, press release, and plaster ads over every app store. But if it's a console game, we could definitely see it at the Game Awards, which should be in like early December, I want to say.
Okay, great. Well, we'll look forward to that, and we'll definitely talk about it here on the podcast if it does come true. Some more gaming news here as After canceling BlizzCon 2021 and announcing plans for an event to be held in early 2022, Blizzard Entertainment announced this week that it will not be holding that event either. According to the company, they will instead focus on supporting development teams and working on the games and experiences it already has planned. This was probably the right move. None of this has cooled down as far as the background to the stuff that Blizzard is going through of the abusive employment practices that they allowed and that happened at the company, and none of that is going away anytime soon.
It's a shit show over there, man. Like, honestly, what the fuck are they doing? I saw they had the CEO on their earnings call, and he was talking about how he's cutting his salary. Man, fuck out of here, man. He's been making hella bank, selling crazy amounts of stock. Every year he's been begging, and the investors look and say, why is this guy getting so much money? Like, why is he getting this crazy $30 million, $40 million bonus every year? And then every year he's like, because I can. And then he gets it anyway. What's going on over there is absolutely mind-boggling. There's so many games in disarray right now. Like, I think Overwatch 2 is on like their third executive producer. Like, they don't know what the fuck is going on with that game. Diablo 4, like when the fuck is that coming out? Or are they on 3? No, 4. Yeah, Diablo 4. Like, when the fuck is that coming out? They're hemorrhaging talent everywhere due to the myriad of lawsuits. They tried to pay it out, then the state of California was like, we ain't like that. They didn't like that the payout happened. They were like, we actually fucked the payout. People need to like go to jail over some shit, or we need to up the count. We need to get people paid higher. It's a mess over there. They had to rename a whole character in Overwatch because one of the guys that was abusing people, the character was named after him. So they had to rename the fucking character after he got fired. Or I'm sorry, resigned.
Sure.
Like they got a lot of shit going on. BlizzCon, especially since they've seen, like, they went back and watched like developer panels from previous BlizzCons and said, hey, look when he said this to this woman, like he said that to an actual customer. So like the last thing they want is giving developers the opportunity to get shit on by their fans. Like having like a trans person come up there and just straight up eviscerate the whole panel and be like, oh, I had a friend that worked there and you guys said this and this. Like, it's over for that, man. Like Blizzard, they need to just get their shit together, hire some people that actually want to work there and not be pieces of shit, and then put out some games. Fuck the conferences. Like,
right.
They don't have time for that. It sucks for the fans that whatever fans they have that would actually go to those things and, you know, do their little cosplay thing and pretty much just suck the dick of Blizzard. That's usually when you got these types of conferences, that's the type of people that go there. Like, Blizzard can do no wrong. Doesn't matter that you try to play a Diablo game on launch and it doesn't fucking work because they have it connecting to servers that always break, even though you're playing a single player game. Like, they ignore all the fuckery that goes on. I don't know how they drop the past 3 Call of Duty's been broken. Every Call of Duty that comes out for the past like 3 years have been broken on launch. They've been very quiet about Vanguard, so I don't think it's looking too good on that front. Like, everything with Activision Blizzard is just in disarray. Hopefully they get their shit together. To me, they should just fire the CEO. I don't know how the fuck this guy has a job. Like, how do you sit there and act as if you don't know what's going on in your own company?
He's probably one of those, at this point, he's trying to, like you said, he's taking a salary cut or whatever, pay cut. He's trying to preserve his job at this point because he sees that normally when this stuff happens, the CEO is gone. They step down or they're asked to step down, and that's it. That's kind of the way that they end up replacing that CEO with someone who's considered a little bit more progressive, and that helps the image of the company. Sometimes they'll do an entire rebranding, which I wouldn't be surprised if we got that out of Blizzard Entertainment. I'm not saying a full name change, but like, I don't know, you know how they rebrand shit when they're trying to really move away from that old image. and those old controversies, which again, I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon for them. It definitely has not. And it's honestly good timing for them as far as, look, we're just not going to do these BlizzCons anytime in the future. We're just going to cancel next year's because, yeah, conventions are coming back, but they're not at 100%. So, if you're going to end up stopping something like this, now is probably the time. I'm not playing, I'm not big on any of Blizzard's games currently, and Activision, yeah, they've been not gamer friendly for a while since the days you and I worked at GameStop. So they've got a lot of work to do, and I hope that the good people that do work there, I wish them the best, and the people that were hurt during all of this, I hope they're able to find some peace or some resolution with that company. But otherwise, as you said, BlizzCon, it's a small casualty. I don't think that's small picture for sure.
It sucks in the grand scheme of things because like people, they're getting abused at work. You got BlizzCon. That probably would have brought a lot of money into wherever they were going to do it at, probably LA Convention Center. But a lot of people not getting paid, whether it's the people that work at the convention center, people that set up those conventions, all that kind of stuff. And I think what's really going on right now with Blizzard, with the cancellation and everything, they're looking at what Ubisoft is doing because they had basically the exact same scandal happen last year, probably 4 or 5 months before Blizzard. And they pretty much just shut the fuck up and put out games, and people just keep, nope, new Far Cry, whatever. Like, no one cares. Like, they just shut the fuck up. They didn't do anything. They fired like 3 or 4 people. The CEO of Ubisoft acted as if he didn't know anything was going on, even though I think like his brother was one of the people that was also like getting shit on, like saying, oh yeah, he abused me. He said this to me. He touched me at this party. Like all that type of shit was going on. And he just kind of was like, man, I didn't know. But the only saving grace of him was that he actually he was the founder and he's the owner of the company. So of course, if he doesn't want to get fired, he's basically hired himself. He can't fire himself. If he's not leaving unless he feels like him leaving is going to boost the sales of the games. So Blizzard's just following that exact same path, just cancel things, work on the games, and hopefully some games come out and people just don't remember.
Yeah, that's probably what they're hoping for. That's honestly best case scenario. I do have a bit of Marvel news this week. That means it's a positive, right? That's usually a good thing when I do that for Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, the new Guardians of the Galaxy game came out and had pretty good reviews, right? That's what we're talking about.
Did it? Yeah. Even Bobby's not getting that one. So, Winter Soldier co-creator Ed Brubaker, amazing writer, I love Ed Brubaker, recently responded to his anti-Marvel comments he made a few years back when he made these comments years ago when the Civil War first came out, and Winter Soldier as well, and then again this time when Falcon and Winter Soldier had its debut, which I think was earlier this year. And they kept asking him about it, and it was negative. So obviously it's going to keep coming back because it's very unusual for someone to talk anti-Marvel. These reporters can't handle it. Look at Scorsese, constantly asked, what do you think about this? What do you mean by not cinema? So he was asked yet again, and Ed Brubaker said, quote, the only reason I said anything in public was because I was getting inundated with people wanting my opinion about this or how do I feel. I just started to feel, man, I guess I should just be honest about how I feel about this, which is I feel kind of like I got fucked over because they didn't own a movie studio back when I wrote that story, end quote. So to anyone not in the know, in the past, he talked about how during Halloween, when Winter Soldier came out, he had kids coming up to his door with Winter Soldier costumes. He talked about this on Word Balloon, and he was like, oh man, I co-created that character, and I'm not seeing a single penny from that costume or from that movie or from the merchandise that Disney has put out there. And it's one of those things that time and time again, for whatever reason, whatever contracts were made when they created the character, maybe they didn't think that this would be a household item for in 10 years, 20 years. But historically, Disney and Warner Brothers has had the better contract as far as payout. I think it was Jim Starlin said that he got more money from Batman v Superman on the one side villain character that showed up in that than all of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters and Thanos combined from the Marvel movies. Like, like he got a bigger paycheck from Warner Brothers, and he's just
Jesus
like, that's just
Christ,
the
man.
way
This
that.
is when is this gonna stop?
I don't think it's going to, because if you're Disney right now and you're working for Disney, anything you make, you're probably signing out any type of payout bonuses. There's no way that they're now making contracts or now not keeping a close eye on these contracts.
At this point, like if you're a comic writer for Marvel, you gotta just use whatever characters that's already made. Because if you make anything brand new over there, you're not getting paid. If they ever throw that shit in a movie, you're not getting paid. And if you are getting paid, it's pennies. It's fractions on the penny. It's like how dudes get paid off of music streaming. Like you get a fraction of a penny to get your work. Meanwhile, everybody's quoting whatever quips that's in the movie. They're rocking the fucking t-shirt. They're saying I am Groot. And you're sitting there like, damn, everybody knows my character and nobody knows that I made it. Nobody knows nobody knows that I made it, and I'm getting paid like nobody knows that I made it.
Right. Yeah, Ed Brubaker even said, he's like, they put a credits in the movie and then I got invited to the premiere. So there's that.
Jeez, man. You get credit in the movie. That's not gonna help you with shit.
No.
Because it's not like someone's gonna see that and be like, oh, let me get this guy to write my movie. They're gonna say, no, he wrote a comic book. Or he drew a comic book. Like, what is that going to help us with? Like, we're not making a comic book movie. So that's not going to help him. And then being able to go to the premiere, whoa, like, I can see the fucking movie. I'm going to walk the red carpet and no one knows who the fuck I am.
That's what sucks. The best you can do as Ed Brubaker, and he's a bad example because he's a well-known comic writer. He can get work at any of the companies. But let's say you weren't Ed Brubaker. The best you can do is if you're trying to get your pitch out there, you can say, hey, you know that Winter Soldier movie that came out that made millions of dollars? I co-created the Winter Soldier. So I've got stories. Like, you can do that and you can upsell that way. But that still sucks. I'd rather get that. Let me get that residual paycheck for the rest of my life for every DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever future media comes out of that movie from now until I die. And then my inheritance, like, my son or my family members can then get the residuals from there. And I don't know. It sucks. It sucks for Ed Brubaker. He did say later on that there are conversations happening with Disney now, probably to get him to shut up. So I don't know if they're going to give him like a one-time payout or if they'll set up a contract for him. But it's fucking Ed Brubaker. Pay the fucking guy.
Yeah, it reminds me of the same kind of conversation happened with the guy that made all the Witcher books, because he sold like the license for CD Projekt Red to make the Witcher games for like nothing, because he was like, man, who the fuck is gonna want to play this shit? Like, it's a no-name fucking development company. Yeah, just give me like 10 grand. Like,
oh no,
because they were trying to give him percentage, and then he was like, man, these guys aren't going to sell any fucking games. Well, I'm going to get a percentage of 0. So he just gave it, just, hey, pay me 15,000. And then Witcher 3 happens, which I guess Witcher 2 happens. That becomes kind of big. Then the Witcher 3 sells a zillion copies. And now he's like, shit, I'm broke. Like, you guys are making all this money. Like, and I only got 10 grand. And it was like, the CD Projekt Red was like, but we tried to give you a percent.
Yeah, that's too bad.
At least on that side, they went back and gave him some more money. I don't know. Good. Like, they didn't have to. They could have been dicks about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that they were probably like, if he had chosen the percentage, we'd probably be giving him way more than this anyway, so let's just give him this. So that makes sense, even from a business standpoint. The second bit of Marvel, actually, we got a couple here. This one is from The Eternals. It is the lowest rated Marvel Studios movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I don't give a shit about the tomato, but I know a lot of MCU sheep do. So this is where previously Thor: The Dark World held the previous lowest score at 66%. And this is where we've gotten the flip-flop, the tap dancing from the MCU sheep of, I'll look at BVS. It has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a piece of trash. Look at Suicide Squad. Now they're going, well, I'm going to go in and make up my mind for myself. I mean, what do critics know? This is like, it's like, oh, now it doesn't matter, huh? Until the next movie comes out and that gets a positive rating. Suddenly you're going to be all about the Rotten Tomatoes again. So that's just really fucking interesting, because even the bloggers that are normally Disney bloggers were shitting on the movie. So like, I think it was Film Gob that was theorizing that the quote unquote marketing budget didn't make its way to the reviewers. So that's why, they're all kind of shitting on it.
I'm on the whole don't give a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes. Thor Dark World is fucking terrible, man. I don't know how the fuck I got conned into paying to watch that shit. I didn't like the first Thor, and I didn't even watch it in theaters, but somehow I got conned into fucking watching it in theaters. Thank you, wife. And that fucking movie sucks. I don't see how Eternals could be worse.
Did you ever see Ragnarok?
I didn't because I didn't like the first Thor.
And
the second one was terrible. I mean, at least I guess if from what I've heard between you and Bobby, at least the third one has some kind of jokes in it. The second one didn't have any. It was just boring.
Yeah, it's not my least favorite Marvel movie. I'll watch Thor: The Dark World over Ragnarok, the first Avengers, the second Avengers. Thankfully it doesn't have any of those jokes, which is one of the worst parts of those MCU movies. They'll undercut a lot of these serious scenes with a joke just to lighten the mood. I don't know if it's a formula that they're following. So I don't know, but this Eternals apparently is the worst MCU movie so far, according to critics, according to their scores. A couple of them have compared it to a Zack Snyder movie, whereas we've been like, you guys can't help it. You got to mention Zack Snyder, don't you?
Wow.
In every single one of your fucking reviews. So there you go. I'm obviously not going to see it. I thought that was funny, though. I thought that was curious. Money kind of maybe did run out, as Film Gob was saying, but they'll come through for the next one, I'm sure, which is Spider-Man 3. And today we ended up getting from the Sony Marvel side of things the new Morbius trailer.
Are you here to heal the world? Or to destroy it?
This is set to come out on January 28th of next year. And this is more than the teaser. This is the one we're going to see in theaters. What'd you think of it, Macio?
Definitely looked very interesting. Jared Leto, man, he's really good.
Mm.
He's really fucking good. So I'm in. I don't really know too much. I didn't watch any of the Venoms, but this definitely looks very interesting. I like the framing, at least in the trailer, and I like the music too. So I'm definitely down to watch this. The one thing I was kind of like, at least they didn't really show too much was like who else is in the fucking movie.
Right. Like who's the villain? Who is he going up against? Or
Yep.
Yeah, that was
like mainstream actors in it, like besides Jared Leto.
Yeah, like Michael Keaton makes a little cameo in it.
Yeah.
And you saw him there.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. I was so excited when I saw Tyrese. I
Really?
was like, yeah, I'm like, fucking, yeah, from Fast and the Furious. Fuck yeah. I love those movies.
Green
I like
Lantern
Tyrese. Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, that's right. I enjoyed the trailer too. I what I like the most about this is, it's interesting you mentioned that there's no villain or nothing that we saw as far as him going up against yet, but he seems to be battling himself a lot. There's several dialogue bits in there of, can you control what's inside you? There's something in me and I don't know if I can control it. You see him murdering people left and right, and I'm assuming a lot of those are going to be criminals, but there's got to be a scene in there, much like in your regular vampire movies. I think we saw it in Blade. We saw it in The Vampire Hunter. I think it's V the Vampire Hunter. Can't remember. But the anime in which he struggles with his inner urges of wanting to just feed whoever it is. And I think we're going to get some of that in here. We got his powers showcased. You got the speed, his hands transform into these long, sharp claws that he uses to kill people with. He's got the senses, the bat senses. the special effects on this looked really solid, especially when you see his face. It's as comic accurate as you're going to get while still making it realistic. And as you mentioned, you've got Jared Leto as your lead. The guy knows how to act. That's who you want in any movie, no matter what you're making. He's going to give you 100%.
Yeah, I definitely like the CGI. It looked pretty clean, at least from the shots they showed. It doesn't seem like super out of place like how Venom does in the trailers when they show him walking around, especially but they're interacting with the person in front of them. Mm-hmm. It really looks like you're watching CGI. Like it doesn't even try to attempt to make it seem any type of semblance of realistic. And it looks like it has a couple slow-mo shots, I'm down with the slow-mo bullet time type shit. So I'm liking what I see so far. I might have to spoil myself and watch the next trailer. I know how you are. The first trailer is all you need to see, and then you go in blind. But me, I'm definitely gonna want to at least see the next trailer right before the movie comes out. I'll take a couple spoilers just to see if I'm sure if I want to walk into a theater and watch it.
There you go. I will absolutely be there as well to watch Morbius, and we will review it here on the podcast, depending on who all from the hosts will have seen it by then. And we also have some Zack Snyder news, as in an interview with Games Radar, Zack revealed that the time loop elements that were introduced in Army of the Dead will have some play in his Planet of the Dead sequel. He said, quote, "I'm a huge fan of this mythological understory of the universe. All your time loop fun that you can have, there's a lot of cool enhancements that are baked in now. I can't wait to make the sequel to Army of the Dead so that we can see how all of those things manifest," end quote. If you haven't seen Army of the Dead, it's not really a spoiler, it's more of a setup to future movies. There's a scene in which right when they get to the vault, they find these bodies that seem to have the same clothes they do. There's a hint of one of them wearing a necklace that has a 3, and then the same character has that necklace that has 4 dots on it, kind of implying that this is their 4th go-around. They're trying to get these. Earlier in the movie, they show maps of people that were already there, implying that it was them now that we have this time loop thing. And us as fans, or at least what I've seen on Twitter, we're like, holy shit, time traveling zombies confirmed, or who knows what we're gonna get out of this. This blows the door open for his sequels.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I'm, unlike Zack Snyder, am not a fan of the whole time loop thing. Most of the time it doesn't make sense, but if you turn your brain off a little bit and you kind of just watch it for what it is, it gets kind of interesting. I still haven't seen, which is understandable because it only came out a couple of days ago, but I have Army of Thieves loaded up, ready to go to watch either tonight or tomorrow night. I'm down. I don't really give a shit what's in what he's thinking about doing on Planet of the Dead, because I'm gonna watch it, especially if it's on Netflix. So I'm gonna tune in. I'm paying for it, so might as well watch it. And I enjoyed Army of the Dead, so I'm good to go. But to me, I like, as a person that watched Army of the Dead, I wasn't super keen in on those little small details of the maybe they've been there multiple times. Like when I was reading this on the show notes, I was like, what time loop was there? I had to actually look it up because I didn't catch it when I watched it. I'm more interested in just how everything works with the zombies and all that kind of stuff, to get that more explained. Why is it only still contained in Vegas? Small things like that.
With the aliens, right? Yeah.
And the
Area
aliens
51.
too. That all that kind of stuff is interesting. Even the dogs, the fucking lions being infected. Like, how does that, like, with the animals? How come it was only them? Like, where was the birds? Like the zombied out birds, shit like that. Like, I'm more interested to see more of that. I know Zach kind of likes to keep that a mystery, which is fine. So whatever he decides to give us, I'm down to watch.
I've got Army of Thieves on my list as well, and the only reason I haven't seen it is my old coworker Sean. He was like, "Hey, let's get your wife together and mine, and all 4 of us will watch Army of Thieves." And I'm like, "Great." And she ended up, not my wife, his wife ended up catching COVID, and he's like, oh, we got to push this back until she gets better. So I've been waiting. So supposedly this coming week is when I'm going to be able to see Army of Thieves, but it is the number one movie on Netflix in over 90 countries. It is doing extremely well, and I'm sure Netflix is incredibly happy. We also have some, this came out of Twitter.
Clown.
Yeah. New Gods
Clown.
director Ava DuVernay suggested a studio clash over Zack Snyder's Justice League as the reason that her New Gods film, as inspired by Jack Kirby's world, was canceled. She said in an interview with SiriusXM, quote, I loved New Gods, which is the project that got axed. The studio decided that they did not want to pursue a certain part of that comic world based on some things that were going on with another film in that world. So before I even was able to kind of complete my script with Tom King, they axed it, end quote. This doesn't seem to add up, right, Macio?
Please. Is she doing calculus? Is this statistics? We doing algebra? What the fuck is she talking about? This is straight up clown shit. No script, no cast, but somehow whatever the fuck was going on with Zack Snyder's Justice League that wasn't a thing, that is a thing that never was supposed to happen but came out because the fans wanted it, somehow fucked up her movie. Where the fuck was the script at? Where was the cast at? When was it supposed to get filmed? We heard zero fucking news, and all of a sudden, it was because that other movie that had Darkseid in it.
That is pretty much literally it. And like maybe Granny Goodness. What I'm hearing from some people is that she turned in like 6 drafts, her and Tom King, and they were all trash. And Warner Brothers was like, yeah, we're not doing this. So I don't know if because of that, or maybe they told her something else, but she's blaming it on the Snyder Cut because, well, it wasn't our script. It must have been because these characters are showing up on the big screen before ours. Our version of Darkseid would have been there. But that, even if you were to believe that, Warner Brothers is all about the multiverse. They don't give a shit about 2 Batman, 3 Batmans. We're seeing that with the fucking Flash movie coming out. Supposedly Affleck and Keaton are going to be in there. Who knows if there'll be even more, but they don't give a shit about there being 2 Darkseids or 2 Granny Goodnesses, especially in a film that they called a cul-de-sac, that they said there's no Justice League 2 or 3 coming. They'll still stick by that today. So why does it fucking matter that the Snyder Cut exists for her movie to continue? That's the part that, to me, I was like, that does not make fucking sense. And either someone lied to you or you're trying to gaslight Zack because we know that she's not a fan of his.
The fucking reach on that. Like, there's so much. She's fucking stretching like a goddamn Olympian before their event to say that, the character being somewhere else that affected my movie. Even though she had before it got canceled at that point, 2 years at least, maybe 3, when it got announced. There's so many. What about all the other projects that got canceled? And was that Zack Snyder's fault too? Was that
of course
the reason why we didn't get Batgirl?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Stop with the cap. That's some bullshit, man. Just be like, hey, man, we turned some shit in. It wasn't dope. They wasn't fucking with it. That's understandable. Plenty of people get green lights to make some shit. Hey, draft up the script, blah, 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 blah. And then you or your writers couldn't tell a compelling enough story, at least to Warner Brothers. Or maybe Warner Brothers was just like, yo, this dark side shit, we can't throw no jokes in it. It can't really be jokey, funny time. So, just get rid of it. We got Flash coming. That's going to have jokes. We got the serious shit with the Batman. We don't need a dark side movie. Just done that. You already had the thing with James Wan, the Trench shit. They axed that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Are we supposed to believe that was Zack Snyder's fault too? Or maybe he just also couldn't come up with a dope script?
Yeah, they're going to I'm sure she would blame it on him. And it gets more embarrassing. A couple of years ago, this was before the Snyder Cut was announced as coming out. We were still fighting for it. We knew that Ray Porter was playing and voicing Darkseid in his cut, but this is pre HBO Max we are going to get the Snyder Cut. I had tweeted to Ava and I asked her, are you going to be using Ray Porter as Darkseid in your New Gods film? I was trying to figure out if Ray would still continue to work and if they were still going to use him. And if we were, I could at least hear Darkseid and see what he would have been like in the Snyder Cut. And she blocked me immediately right after that. And
Wow.
I put that out on Twitter last year, and someone's like, well, you were probably being an asshole to her. And I screenshotted the tweet. You can find it. You search at Ava at Reasons I'm Broke. And it's like, here it is. I'm literally just asking her. and they got blocked. And all of this week, there was one Twitter follower who was trying to start a Revive the New Gods, hashtag Revive the New Gods thing. And they tagged Ava in it and got blocked. Ava blocked them immediately too. And they were like, whoa, like I was just trying to get your movie going again. And just because I have Restore the Snyderverse in my headliner, that's why she blocked me. A bunch of people that have never tweeted to her, but that have hashtag Restore the Snyderverse on their Twitter name or on their description on the bio, they're all getting mass blocked by Ava. And it's kind of, again, it is embarrassing because she's spending all of this time or using a bot to, mass block. I don't know, but
I'm gonna go with the bot. It's very easy because you can have people that's like, oh, if you follow them and that person follows you, then you can basically block all of them at once.
But yeah, and to have that much of a resentment to go, okay, you know what? Block everyone that has anything hashtag Restore the Snyderverse or Snyder Cut or any of that. I don't want anything I think it's hurting her. It's hurting her. Obviously her fan base, people that were trying to like, hey, let's get your movie going. They're now like, what the fuck? And then it just doesn't look right. It seems like a bit of a tantrum. Like, I didn't get my way. Fuck this all. And that's kind of been going on this week where people are like, I just got blocked today because of this. And I've never interacted with her ever. It's amazing. It doesn't look good on her.
Yeah. Well, we need to get what Tom King says.
He's been,
Let's see if he's going to be a clown too and blame Snyder Cut, or he'd just be like, man, we didn't write some good shit. Like keep it 100. Like we didn't write anything good, or at least nothing that Warner Brothers were interested in. I went back to writing some comics, man. Fuck it.
Yeah. Tom King, the last thing I heard from him, it was on last week's Word Balloon. And he said that the New Gods, it didn't work out. Warner Brothers didn't want to go forward with it. And he has been very neutral about the Snyder Cut or Zack, or he just doesn't talk about it. So he's kind of just been very PR about it. And instead going, we're trying to pitch this other thing over here at this TV station or studio and this streaming service. And we're trying to get this made. And it's disappointing when things don't happen because I really wanted to make the New Gods film. But instead, and then he plugs his future shit instead. So that's how he's been handling it.
Smart. Yeah. Why cry over spoiled milk? Just go on, promote your new shit, and try to make some new shit that's dope instead of being like a sourpuss about something that didn't happen. Like you wanted it to happen, didn't work out. You don't have to throw salt on Zack's name. It's not going to make you look any better.
Exactly right. That's all you can do. And with the green light from Warner Brothers on Dune Part 2, so we got that confirmation. Returning director Denis Villeneuve confirmed that it will be at least a year before he's back behind the camera on the set of the second part. He said, quote, "It's fantastic news, but it's also kind of a burden. The good news is that a lot of the work has been done already regarding design, casting, locations, and writing, so we're not starting from scratch. It's not a long period of time, but I will try to face that challenge because it's important for me that the audience sees part 2 as soon as possible," end quote. They also gave the date of October 20th, 2023. We are a ways away of Warner Brothers. It seems like they just barely made that decision of, all right, fine, we'll do Dune Part 2, and I'm glad they did.
So when he said he's trying to take a year, is he talking about a year from the release before he gets behind the camera, or a year from the last time he filmed? Because I don't see how the fuck it's going to come out in 2023 if he's not going to be doing shit all of 2022.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think he's probably gonna start, if I had to guess, maybe he doesn't mean a year. He'll get started fall of next year and they'll start filming. And then in 2023, they'll probably wrap up by the summer of 2023 and then release the movie in October. I've seen that kind of happen a lot where they'll be in post by, a month or two even before the street date. And they can move that date later on. But he is right. He did a month or two ago, he talked about how he finished the script for part 2. I'm sure he's working on part 3 right now. All they have to do, I guess, is like he said, all the casting is done, the locations. So just get out there, film it. I hope they do them back to back, because some of these actors like Zendaya and I don't know the main guy, Timothy. I can't pronounce his last name.
Chalamet.
Yeah, I don't know. Willy Wonka. He's the new Willy Wonka. I know that much. They're gonna look a lot older by the time part 3 comes out. So they gotta start to really film, especially since part 2 takes place like right after part 1. With the way part 1 ends, they're going somewhere to decide their fate. So it's literally gonna pick up right after that. And it's. I hope it doesn't show too much.
I still haven't watched it yet. That's also on my list of things to watch. I'm probably gonna watch that first, then watch Army of Thieves. Yeah, man. Like, I don't see how they were holding on to, like, this shit was finished like a year ago, right? And they just pushed it back due to the pandemic. So I don't know what's his deal with the like it's a burden, dude. A burden. You made the movie into basically a 3-parter, and you're like, oh, it's a burden to have to do a second one. I don't know, man. I know he's a super like talented director, but come on, like a burden is super just extra. Just be super extra with it. It's a burden to have to make another film that's gonna make me a millionaire.
Right?
Come on, dude.
Like, I get he was saying that he wanted part 2 to come out as quickly as possible. I'm sure that's what he was referring to, but that's not the right word you want to use in that interview. So I'm just glad we're getting part 2 though. I'm happy as can be, and I'm curious to hear what you think about it, especially since it's not a movie for. I know Denny said it's the movie he's made that's the most for a general audience, and I guess it is. I think maybe Blade Runner. I don't know. His movies aren't really for the general audience, to be honest with you, as far as like crowd pleasers, popcorn, let's just watch this and turn our brains off. This is a visual feast, and there's heavy elements in here with a story. So I'm curious to hear what you think about it whenever you do. And we are going to have a review for Dune here on the show. Whenever one of the hosts have seen the movie, we'll do a review that week, but this does give everyone a chance to catch up and watch it in theaters or on HBO Max. Speaking of which, we do have this month's What's New on HBO Max, the November 2021 highlights. So going down this list here first, and then we'll go back and talk about which ones caught your eye. We've got A Clockwork Orange from Stanley Kubrick, also Eyes Wide Shut, The Bourne Trilogy, 2013's The Wolverine, Dawson's Creek, Doom Patrol Season 3, Tom and Jerry in New York Season 2, Looney Tunes Cartoons Season 3, and King Richard starring Will Smith. So that's the highlights that I pulled from this one. Are there any of these that particularly catch your attention, Macio?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch King Richard. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird getting a story about the father of Serena and Venus, but I guess since they're still like doing their thing, doesn't really make sense to do a like biopic about them, because they're still playing, still winning. Well, kind of winning here and there. Will Smith is a good actor. Mm-hmm. When he does these types of roles, like he did Ali, he was really good at that. So I'm down to watch this just to see what's up with it, and I'll learn a little bit more about Venus and Serena, because I don't really think they're gonna go too deep with Richard Williams. Like, they're not going super deep. It seems like a lot of the movie is really about the sisters, at least how they cut the trailer.
I don't know. I got the impression that it's the relationship between the kids and the parents as well. When you have someone like Will Smith as your lead, I feel like it might revolve around him, especially since they're calling the movie King Richard. I wouldn't be surprised if most of it was, as their kids growing up, teens, and then eventually, I don't think we're going to get like modern. At the very end, maybe we'll get a flash forward of him seeing his little girls like now champions. We might get that, but I do think it will be about maybe a little bit of his upbringing, why he pushed his little girls into this direction, and There's that question of, do they want to do this or is this for you? They're going to explore a lot of that in the movie, and you can easily fill an hour and a half or two on those themes alone.
Yeah, I just don't want the movie to be too long. Like 2 hours, probably be pushing it on that. But yeah, like I'm definitely down. I want to learn a little bit more even about the other siblings because they show a little bit of them in the trailer. So I'm down to watch that. Looney Tunes cartoons low key slaps, man. That
It's
shit is
good,
fucking
man.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. I wasn't expecting it, but it's to me, I like it. It seems like it's adultish. It has something for the kids. It's just a funny show, man. So I'm down with some more Looney Tunes cartoons.
It's exactly like the shit we grew up with. It's exactly like it. And I'm glad that it's not CG. It's hand-drawn shit, and it looks fucking good.
Really good, really crisp. Definitely better than the animation some other shows like Animaniacs. Kills that. I like how they do the art. Super clean on 4K TV. I haven't watched any of the Tom and Jerry, but if it's anything like Looney Tunes, maybe I need to tap in on that.
I included this because I was watching a few snippets of it, and it is more story bound than what the classic Tom and Jerry's were, which is kind of what I wanted. But I wanted to include this because it's them out of their element. They're in New York City. And I'm guessing they made this because of the new movie that came out last year or whenever. So they're like, oh, so now we need a cartoon that ties into that because kids are going to want to see what else they can get. So here they are in the city some more. I doubt it's going to be like the old shit that we watched. But the fact that they put season 2 on here, I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. So I'm curious. I do want to watch an episode or two just to see, because I like Tom and Jerry, the old stuff at least.
Out of that, I mean, I've watched the Bourne trilogy. Really good action movies. I don't see myself popping it on and watching it again. There's so much new shit to watch. I don't go back to watch old shit. Like same thing with Clockwork Orange. The movie that had a cameo and fucking fucking Space Jam.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I wanted to say I seen Eyes Wide Shut before too. It's been so long. I honestly don't remember.
With Tom Cruise and his wife at the time, I think. She was in Batman Forever as well. Why is that escaping me right now? She was in Aquaman. She plays Arthur's mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember.
Nicole Kidman.
All, but, yeah. Okay, yeah. Then I seen that. I definitely seen that though.
Goes to that
and
weird.
I'm sure my wife is gonna love that Dawson's Creek is on HBO Max.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
She's see her crying watching TV.
Yeah, I've never watched Dawson's Creek, but I remember it being huge at the time. Like it was all constantly on. People were talking about it. Do you think this is a huge get for HBO Max? Like, I know it's not on the level of, Seinfeld or The Office or Friends, but should this still, I think, pull in some viewers?
I don't think people are gonna buy HBO Max to watch Dawson's Creek.
Gotcha.
If it's a good show for the people that like these type of shows like Dawson's Creek and Seventh Heaven and things like that. But it's not getting people to sign up for HBO Max. It's not Friends. It's not Seinfeld. It's like, I would say it's like Frasier level at that point. Like, and people aren't like, what I mean? Like, people are going to get these streaming services for things that you could just put on.
Yeah.
I don't think Dawson's Creek is one of them. Like something like Office, Parks and Rec, Seinfeld, Friends. Like you want something that you could put on that's light at all times. Mm-hmm. Which has some heavy moments in it here and there, but for the most part, if you put it on, it's going to put a smile on your face. You put it on Dawson's Creek, someone's going to die. You're going to be crying. Someone's going to break up. It's not a happy show.
So pretty solid list overall for this month. The only couple of things I'll say about the Kubrick stuff is Eyes Wide Shut was his last film. I think he died before the premiere. So that was his last one. There was rumors and people saying that they're in the editing phase. He wanted to redo some things or something. And there's always those things that are going to show up when a filmmaker dies before the movie comes out. They're going to say things that may or may not be true. Some are saying that he was extremely happy with how the film turned out. But in case you're curious, Eyes Wide Shut was his last one. It was solid. He's one of the best filmmakers of all time. And then Clockwork Orange is, of course, a classic. But yeah, there's some things I'm going to check out. King Richard, I will probably stick to HBO Max as opposed to going to theaters. It's one of those day and date releases.
Oh, yeah,
but otherwise,
100%.
Yeah, otherwise we do the What's New on Netflix and HBO Max every month here for the podcast, usually towards the end. That way we can go into the new month knowing what is being added. But otherwise, that does wrap up the news for this week. Let's head into the Brocat block, which is what Macio and I have been doing. So Macio, what have you been playing or reading, watching? What's been going on since the last time you were on?
So I finished up Psychonauts 2. Really fucking good game. Story on it is amazing. It's just tight gameplay. I really like the story because it delves into the mind of how people hide and suppress their feelings and their emotions and their trauma. And you go in there and you just pick it apart and you get all the lore and the story behind why the characters act a certain way, do certain things. It was a really good game. Right now, I'm also playing through Doom 2016, and I'm almost done with that, so I can move on to Doom Eternal, which the soundtrack in those games are so fucking good, man. Like crazy ass, deep, heavy metal. It's rocking on. It gets your fucking blood flowing, man. Like if you put that shit on when you go on your go to workout, dude, you're gonna be running through the fucking wall. Like, trust me, that shit. You'll lift the heaviest shit you ever lifted. You'll run the furthest you ever ran. You probably think you're running away from demons in hell instead of playing a fucking game. But that's pretty much what I've been playing and just trying to knock out a lot of single player games until Halo comes out.
Yeah, how does it feel? Like, are you hyped or is it still a little too far away?
I'm hyped. They haven't showed a lot of the campaign, but I am hyped. They're boosting up the marketing now for the campaign. They just actually released this 3-minute trailer, which like it was fucking like it had people crying. It was tugging at every type of emotional string. And Microsoft does this. They're doing a lot with accessibility. So like the guy on the trailer, he's doing everything in sign language, and they have like they put in the lore of the game that the AI is translating it into voice so you can hear it instead of just watching the guy do sign language. And people are like, oh, Microsoft's doing all this accessibility stuff. They put all these different colorblind settings in the games and things like that. So that's why they did it, just for them to say, like, of the story of the guy in that little trailer was that he lost his voice. Like his throat got messed up in the attack. So now he had to use sign language, and that's why he was doing it. And it was just a super emotional little 3-minute scene that just was telling the story about how they retrieved the original energy shield design to put in the armor for Master Chief. Because that seems like a lot of this early marketing is to boost up and tell people the story of the armor and how Master Chief became Master Chief. And that's what the tagline is, just become. So like you're becoming the Master Chief. So they show all these different things. And it gives you that old feeling of Halo 3's marketing, which was like some of the best marketing of all time, video game, period. And that's basically the last time Halo was huge, was Halo 3, when it sold like 15 million copies. Like it was the biggest entertainment launch at the time. It was the biggest entertainment launch ever up until probably like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. So
that's good.
It's looking really good. I'm definitely hyped, but it's just not hitting me. It probably won't hit until like maybe at the tail end of November, which I'm going to be gone for like half of November. I'm not going to be like working or anything. I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned that you're going to be out of town. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town. If any brokettes are listening to this and they're going to Las Vegas for the fucking Day in Vegas music festival, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be out there. I think it's November 11th all the way to like the 14th, but I'm going to be off of work doing jack shit out of town, going some other places starting next week, Monday. Like the whole half of November, I'm just gonna be gone. Then you got Thanksgiving, so we're chilling. I mean, I know you're happy you're not in fucking retail anymore, so you don't have to worry about fucking Black Friday.
Yeah, I get to like really dive into Thanksgiving, instead of like, all right, well, tomorrow's Black Friday, so I got to make sure I rest and we got these deals. I'm not going to be stressing about the holidays, at least in retail. So you're right. That hasn't sunk in yet. It still feels like a regular, and it'll probably be a couple of years before the holidays feel normal again. Just like not working Thanksgiving started to feel normal after I left GameStop or Disney. That's those days you'd always work:
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, all of those. Like those are just regular days. So that's one of the things that I finally got used to, and I will with retail. But it sounds like you're writing the rest of the year pretty easy. Like you mentioned, you got the holidays coming up, and in your position, I'm assuming they're going to be closing the offices for a week or two during New Year's, Christmas, or Thanksgiving.
Not a week. We get our days here and there. Like we got Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Day. So we'll have our days off for sure. But it's good because all that usually ends up bleeding into the weekend. So then it's like you get like a 4-day weekend, a 3-day weekend, all that kind of stuff. So it ends up working out pretty well, in my line of work at least. But yeah, it's just going to be smooth sailing, a lot of gaming, a lot of eating, a lot of relaxing. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me. What's going on your side, man?
Well, you and I have been celebrating, and I'm glad that the rotation ended up the way it did. It's been, hitting lately. Is Kirby Enthusiasm just premiered. They're doing a weekly release of each episode. I watched episode 2 earlier today. I know you haven't yet, but it's another fantastic fucking season. So I'm happy about that. I know we were just talking about HBO Max, but I'm like, man, it's one of those things where now I wish it had come out on Netflix so I can watch more, just binge it.
Yeah,
but it's all right.
Yeah, that's what killed me because when I went in, my wife was like, "Yo, the new episode of Curb came out," and I was like, "Man, I don't even know if I want to watch it because right now we're watching Lucifer. We're binging Lucifer on Netflix." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't even know if I want to watch it." She's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because it's gonna be one episode a week,
just like the old
like
days.
we're gonna be just dripping, just the old days of dripping." Because I was like, it's on HBO Max, but really it's on the real HBO.
Right.
So they're really airing it on and everything. So I was like, man, we really have to sit here and wait every week and just tune in on HBO and watch it every week. But yeah, man, like because I'm also watching Insecure, which is the same way. It came out, I think, either the same day or the day after each other. So we're just every week we got to tune in on HBO and check it, man, because Larry David did it again, man. It's just I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me and you, like it's just our type of humor, or if it's really that funny. Because I've listened to a couple of people, I asked a couple of friends, and they didn't actually like the first episode, but I was cracking up through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, he hasn't lost it. It's just as good as the other seasons. Like I was debating today after I watched episode 2. I'm like, let me just go back to maybe some of the older seasons because I need more of Curb Your Enthusiasm right now. I almost want to start from the beginning, rewatch them until the new episode comes out, watch episode 3 next week, and then keep going through the whole season because it's good stuff. And in this season, I know they started doing that thing where they did it a few seasons ago when they started doing it, where there's like a overarching story throughout the whole season. So there's some things that in episode 2 they reference from episode 1, and it's genius because it becomes more valuable as you continue watching each episode. It's not one where it's just contained to that one story or that one episode like in season 1. You're getting some throwbacks, and it pays off in a huge way. And you'll see when you get to episode 2.
Yeah, man, that's what I really liked about the later episodes. Like as much as I like shows where there isn't so much of like an overarching timeline and story, something like It's Always Sunny, for example, like there's bits that carry over from season to season or stories that carry over throughout the whole season, but it's not like the focus, like when Larry was doing the play, for example, like that was a major part. Like every episode had something to do with the play, but then they had all these smaller little stories in each episode that also tied in, like, oh, him not bringing the present to Ben Stiller's birthday party, even though Ben Stiller told him not to bring it.
Yeah.
And then that was its own small story. But the overarching story was like, hey, you got to keep Ben happy because he's in the play. So it's those kind of things with Curb that's what I liked when those later seasons started coming up and it had those overarching stories. And I'm glad that that's still going on in this new season. So I'm definitely I'm definitely debating on, like, do I wait for my wife? Do I tune in and watch it? Like, do I am I cooking tonight, or am I just going to grab some dinner and then just turn on the TV and we'll just watch the new episode?
The only thing I've heard from people that don't like Curb or Seinfeld, and it never bugged me, obviously, or you in this case, since we're both fans of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but Seinfeld has very similar characteristics, and it's because of Larry David in this. They, my old boss would say, none of the characters are redeeming. Like, they're all bad people. So, they don't relate to the characters. But to me, that's what makes it fucking funny. And I don't know if that makes me, like, inherently, I don't know what it is, but I enjoy that. Like, I know Larry is not the kindest, he's a tough guy to get along with, but that's what's funny about it. And that's the same thing with Seinfeld. All four of these they're not good people. They did bad stuff. And it would just be hilarious in the situation of it, where Larry can't let something go, so he brings it up again to another character. It's just one of those things that I don't know what it is. I don't have that problem where I can't relate to them, and maybe it's because deep down I can. I don't know. I can't explain
like, to
it.
me, in my opinion, I wouldn't even go as so far as to say that they're bad people. They're not just all the way goody two shoes. Like, I would say in the inverse, if you watch Always Sunny, literally everyone on that show is terrible. Like, not even close to you. There's no way, shape, or form that you could ever say a single character on that show is a good person. And then they make every single person around them even worse. Like, I would say on Curb, it's like they're just not goody two shoes. Like, there's good redeeming qualities about every single person on there, from Leon to Susie. Like, they might not tell the truth all the time, and they might not be nice people. And maybe that's because, and I think this might have something to do with it. It was like, we're from big cities. Like, you're from Chicago, I'm from New York. Mm-hmm. And especially in New York, like, people are known to be kind of dickish. So that it even makes that more like people that's definitely from like areas where people are more nice all the time. They might see that and say, "Oh man, like, well, why are they such assholes?" Right. But and they're supposed to be friends, and they're assholes to each other. And shit like that. But to me, that's New York. Like, that's regular shit. Nobody really thinks of it as a negative. So to me, like, that's what I like about Curb, is that everybody has their nuance. Everyone has that thing that they hate, but for the most part, they all still are good people. I can't really say that Larry David is a bad person. I just wouldn't say he's the nicest person.
No, I think you nailed it there, because, now that you mention up north, they're a little bit more rough around the edges as far as when it comes to, like you said, ribbing someone. Or usually when I come back from Illinois, when I visit my friends up there, I'll come back with a little bit of an edge. And I notice that people are a little bit more negative up there. Like, Clayton will be cussing out drivers and complaining about this or that. And it's a little bit more aggressive, I guess is the right word. So that might be it. I think you're right. Where if you're used to, like, let's say you lived in Georgia or Florida or somewhere else where hospitality is a big thing, or all of that, and you see these characters behaving the way they do, you're not gonna like that too much. I get it. I think you probably nailed it. You might be right. I think something to think about, though. There's a lot there. I still haven't actually, I did get one call. I have an interview after we record at a local tea shop. So this is my first callback from all of the applications I put out there. I started getting a little bit like, are these places really looking to hire people? Because,
I had that exact talk with my boss, because he was like, man, nobody's trying to work. And I was like, dude, you got 500 applications on your desk. You just don't like any of the people on there.
This is not a time to be picky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's a little bit of ego involved where I'm like, I'm qualified. Look at all this experience I have. I have management experience. So I don't know if maybe I'm overqualified for some of these positions. They'll think I'll ask for too much money, but they have the salary on there and I'm applying for it. So I don't know. I was getting very like, I don't think this is real. Like, like none of these places are
Honestly, it really isn't. It really isn't. To me, there's no fucking worker shortage. None of that shit is true, man. It's just either A, the job isn't paying enough, or B, the job does pay well, but they're still being like super picky. I know like two other people besides you that are looking for jobs right now, and they're not getting any callbacks.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, and so I'm gonna go to this interview. Let's see what happens. I'm rusty with all of that, but I don't know. Like I winged it last time. When I got hired at the comic shop, Kelly still brings this up to me. I had been a subscriber there. I knew Aaron, the owner. I'd known him for a couple years. I considered him like, oh, the comic shop guy. He knows me. We talked for 10 minutes from me just picking up the comics. Like I'll go and buy my comics and then find them in the store and we'll chat. And so when I went in for my interview, there was one guy before me who had a suitcase. He came in all dressed up and shit. And I was like, oh, I came in my t-shirt and shorts and sandals. Like, cause I'm like, oh, I know Aaron. And Kelly's like, you should have worn something more formal. And I'm like, nah, it's Aaron. It's fine. And I got the fucking job. So I don't know. Like, but she was like, okay, today when you go to the interview, at least wear jeans and a nice collared shirt or something. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So, but part of me wanted to wing it too and be like, I mean, they don't wear uniforms there. It's all right. Like it worked last time. I don't want to, change
Messy
my luck
mojo,
here. Yeah. So we'll see. Next week you'll hear if I got the gig or not. Just something to bring in some income at least. Or, I hope I love the job and do it full time. But I'm glad someone called. I'm really grateful for that, and I hope something comes out of it.
Yeah, man. Good luck, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll either be very happy next week or disappointed. I'll be ranting some more. I watched Dune again, just in case you had seen it. I watched it again yesterday, and I liked the movie enough to watch it now on HBO Max. So my first time was on the big screen, and I rewatch is on HBO. And I'll probably watch it one more time before. I'll probably get with the hosts and see who's seen it. That way I can prepare ahead of time and watch it. I'm going to buy it whenever the 4K releases at Target or wherever. I'm going to check it out. And
so you really liked it.
Yeah, I did really enjoy it. I know you were
a fan of his earlier work, so that makes sense.
Yeah, he gives me more of that. It's kind of like, I was telling Millennial Mike last week, and it sounds pretentious and it's all right, but it's a higher concept. People want to compare it to Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. It's a higher concept version of those. It is an epic saga. They're setting it up for that, but it's also something that is trying to do more than, make an exciting sci-fi story or something that's fantasy and awesome. Like this is, they're bringing in a lot, and it's because of the work. Dune is very dense. They called it the unfilmable book, and then he did it. Just like they called Watchmen the unfilmable comic book, and Zack Snyder did it. So. Yep. Outside of that, I've been spending a lot of, quality time with Leo, especially since I've been home quite a bit. We've been playing a lot. He definitely, I run at the gym and then I run at home. He likes to play tag. So we've been doing a lot of that. I get my more miles in throughout the day. I shouldn't have said that because now I reminded you about that 5K or whatever.
Yeah, hey man, I'm gonna get on my run game because I'm kind of rusty. I did 2 miles the other day. It took me like 8 minutes a mile.
That's pretty fucking good.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty good. I used to be able to do like 7, like a little bit over, like high 6s, like 650, low 7s. I was like, man, I'm running took me. I think it was about 16 and some change, like 16:45 to do 2 miles, and I was dying. And it wasn't even hot. It was like one of those cool days where it was like 60 degrees in the morning.
Yeah, and
I still was like, man, like out of breath. So, but I definitely, man, I'm glad that you got on your fitness stuff. But I work out, but I just haven't really been doing cardio. So I'm definitely down to hit a little 5K with you, man.
That's how I have to train for it. The way you're doing it, going outside, because I'm sure my times could be better, but the problem is, I go on the treadmill and I have my speed set up, and then I run my 1.5 miles, mile and a quarter, 2 miles sometimes, but it's always at that speed. So I'm not improving my times because normally if I'm running outside, I'll sprint, for however long, and then I'll go back to my regular running or my regular jogging. But on a machine, I'm only going one speed. I'm not going to improve anything. So that's probably what I should be doing, finding some kind of a path nearby that I can say, okay, this is going to be 2 miles from here to there. Let me now practice that. That's probably the way to do it.
Yeah, like when you go outside, it forces you to speed up because you can feel yourself when you're like going slow, and then you want to push yourself a little bit harder. Meanwhile, when you're on the treadmill, though, you just run at the exact same speed until you can't no more. Then you slow down. And then once you slow down, like most people, they don't pick the speed back up. So that's the best way. Just go outside, especially now when it's not hot. Just super easy to go outside.
Yeah, Macio and I both live in the Central Florida area, so it never gets cold here. So this is like nice weather. It's no longer in the 90s or the hundreds like it was a month or two ago. This is where it's like, holy shit. Like you can still, shorts for sure, but it's like, this is nice. Like you can actually go outside, not be immediately drenched in sweat. You can breathe. It's I don't have to mow my lawn every week. It's really nice. I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, man. This is my type of weather when you could just, it might not be swimming weather. The water starts to get a little bit cold. It might not be swimming weather, but it's definitely go outside, go for a walk. Like you could go home and then be like, oh hey, let's go for a walk with the kids. Mm-hmm. Let's just go ride the bike, and you don't fucking die. Like you can actually be in the sun and not feel like you're gonna lose all the water in your body.
Exactly right. That's been it though. That's been it for me this week, and I'm glad to hear that you're about to, take some time for yourself, and it's going to be a good chunk of time for you. So that makes me really happy. I like seeing, my friends get, take care of themselves too, and that makes me glad to hear that, man. And I'm excited to hear what how it all went right after you get back from Vegas.
Definitely, man. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be an adventure. Hopefully everything works out and I get back in one piece. No fucking charges. I don't have like a warrant out in Las Vegas for my arrests. I don't get my fucking drink spiked with Molly or some bullshit at this damn festival. It's just a regular good time. I'm staying at a good old 45's hotel. So hopefully that isn't a shit show in and of itself.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think you're going to stay out of trouble. I think you'll be good. I can sense it. You're going to have fun. The only thing I'll suggest as far as like because the only friend that I know that got drugged, thankfully, like in this way, is someone was at an anime rave and someone was going around with a spray bottle. Like it was hot in there. And it's like, hey, you want to cool down? And he's like, yeah. And he got sprayed with the spray bottle. And I guess it was laced with some hallucinogen or something, because he was like later staring at his hands. Like, he's like, oh my God. Like his friends found him like in the corner of the dance floor, like, whoa. And they were like looking for the guy because he had done that to several people. So yeah, don't do that, Macio. Like I'll give you that bit of advice.
Yeah.
I don't care how hot it is.
I don't expect I'm gonna get hit over the head or anything. Nobody's gonna slide me anything. I don't smoke, so I don't have to worry about somebody passing me some laced bullshit. I'll do it. I'll probably be sticking mostly to water, 99% of it, because those music festivals last for eons. And as you know, Dan, I'm a super lightweight, so I can't even fucking drink all day. I'll be like one drink in and I'm already like good for like the next 2 hours. So I foresee it's going to be a pretty clean, easy break. Come back, and I have another concert as soon as I come back. When I come back on like that Monday, I have a concert on Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of music for the next 2 weeks.
That's great. I want to thank you, Macio, again for being a part of the co-host rotation and for helping me dive on this week's news. There was a good amount of gaming stuff and a lot of movie talk that we did today. So I really appreciate it, Macio, and I'm glad it ended up lining up well before your vacation. So thank you again for your time.
My pleasure, man. I love coming on here, talking shit, and see you in a couple days.
That's right. Yeah, we got UFC in a couple days. Go ahead and let the Brokehead Core know. There will be links in the description, but in case they're driving, let them know where they can find you and where they can continue the conversation.
If you want to talk some shit, hit me up on Twitter at Mac the Murderer. That's also my gamer tag on Xbox. If you want to get your ass smoked in Halo when that comes out, or even Battlefield 2042. That's supposed to be coming out a couple weeks before Halo, and I'll definitely be playing a little bit of that. So we can hop on that and blow some tanks up, shoot out some fucking helicopters, get into some mayhem on that. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you again, Macio. And to you on the other side, this week, if you head on over to thereasonsimbroke.com, click on merch, we have a curated shop. We've got t-shirts, sweaters, long sleeve t-shirts, mugs. So in case you want to start getting into your hot chocolate, all that stuff, in case you're living up north, you're already probably in snow. So you can find the stuff that can warm you up this winter over at thereasonsimbroke.com. We got all kinds of logos, not third party, but other artists in our curated shop as well. So you can find some Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn stuff on there. And huge thanks for being on and for joining us again this week. I've been Daniel, joined by Macio and Brokehead Core. All will be well. So because I have you on, Macio, a Halo player, I just saw this on Twitter, and you got to give me some context on this one. They were saying that whoever designed, this one's from Steos Modus, said there's a special place in hell for whoever designed the library in Halo. And what's the deal with that? I just see him drowning in fucking enemies in this first game, I guess.
So the library is a level from Halo 1. That's the exact level right after you find out about the flood, which is kind of like these zombie enemies that just are relentless. And the library is this super dark level. I believe the lore, the actual like design lore behind it was they didn't have enough time, and the guy that made it, he basically padded out the level. So you have to go up a couple floors in this winding path of the library while you're just getting attacked by flood. It's super dark. And that level is like black, damn near pitch black. You need a flashlight. And the flood are just coming at you from all angles. There's multiple times where you have to defend a position while you slowly wait for the character to open a door for you that takes forever. And they make it seem like it's a timer, but realistically, it's kind of a timer, but it also usually the timer ends just as you finish killing all the enemies in the fucking room. And also, I say that the flood are like the zombie enemies, but they also have guns and they can use rocket launchers. So you'll go through the whole defense part just for at the last second a random rocket launcher to hit you. And it's hilarious because that nowhere else in the game does any enemies have rocket launchers until you fight the flood, because the humans have rocket launchers, the aliens you fight don't. And then you end up fighting the flood, which the flood are just whatever they can infect. So they infect the humans, they infect the aliens, and they use whatever weapons they had when they died. So they can have rocket launchers, snipers, shotguns. So you just be killing something and then get shotgunned in the back. And then now you're way back from an earlier checkpoint, like 20 minutes before sometimes, because the Halo checkpoint system is really kind of bad in the first ones because you only got the checkpoint if there was like no enemies around you. So if you were trying to run through the level without actually killing enemies, then you get like no checkpoints, and then you die, and then you go way back.
Okay, well, now I know. Fuck that level then.
That level sucks. I love it because I love Halo 1, and it gives you that tension. Like you really feel like, damn, I need to get the fuck out of here, like by any means. But it's bullshit. Especially on Legendary.